Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Cherika Brown. Of course, we're on another episode of Cherika Be Talking because I be talking. And today, y'all, we're going to discuss the ban of TikTok. So, as we knew it was coming anyways. This has been a discussion that was put in place for a very long time with our former president, who will be inaugurated again on Monday, who started the ban basically. So they've been talking about this a lot and nobody really took it seriously. To me, it was always a little red flag, just like a little relationship where you hear something and you see something and you know that you're powerless in how the other person can respond or act or wake up and just feel different one day. So I kind of knew that one day they will ultimately try and take it away from us just because it wasn't controlled and regulated in a way that our leaders in this country would want it to be. So as it neared us, I think a lot of people were emotional just because I'm not gonna lie, that's one of the best social medias we have where you can laugh, cry, learn things, and it's just so many avenues you can go down and get lost in on that particular application. Now, this isn't something that's new to us, rather we remember or not, but there are other apps like Musically and other things that were so relevant. Vine, there were people that were so like big on those particular applications, and those apps eventually were turned into other names. I believe Vine turned into Musically, and you had those it was just a whole bunch of Dub Smash. They all somehow were just evolving into other apps. So we are honestly not new to having to switch apps and change it to apps. But this one is a little more personal, I think, for people, especially Americans. This is one time that I see everybody coming together and standing for something, no matter the race, color, political party, or whatever, because it's no secret that everything is done for business and for the rich to stay rich and the poor to stay poor. Ultimately, nobody cares that millions and thousands, hundreds of thousands of creators basically quit 9 to 5 jobs because TikTok was paying them so well that they didn't need a regular job, and there was no sense in like having a regular job anymore because they were doing something that they enjoy and they was reaping benefits from it. So my heart does goes out to those people who does not have another source of income, and I really hope that they are able to create, and I hope they stay uplifted during this time, which I think is only a day or so, because I do believe this is temporary. I just hope they stay sane and uplifted and use their creative mind that God blessed them with to figure out how they can create another source of income some other type of way, because it's possible. God, the same way things can be given to you, they can be taken away. And if you are a person of faith, you know that, you believe that, and you can stand on that. Now, one thing that I do think, and it could not be true, but because I said the former president started this ban, and of course our other president, he co-signed it or whatever, and they tried to say, oh, he have the right to stop it as well, but he didn't. So of course the president that will be inaugurated on Monday will likely try and stop it once he's in office to look like he came through and saved the day, when in actuality, if we get back on the app, it may be some things that are obviously different or just different behind the scenes, where it's more controlled, where our leaders are gaining from it because everybody is selfish and in it for themselves. So this control mechanism that is going on, or this power struggle that is going on right now, because that's all it is. It's just a matter of the United States, or in our country, basically making sure the rich stay rich and they get a piece of the cake, or a bigger piece of the cake if they were already getting a piece of the cake. So it sucks even for just the people who work for the company and everything, because we're peons to them, honestly. We the bottom of the barrel, and they could not care less about how people mentally are taking it and all of these situations. And I had a few people ask me, how do I feel about it? And honestly, I'm not moved. Like, yeah, I love the app. It was fun. It was cool. It was resourceful. It gave me my first viral video on the internet. I had like 1.9 million views on one of my first videos and 86K likes or 83K likes or whatever. So it was one of those apps where it gave you opportunity to be a creative for sure. Like it was a genuine app, if that makes sense. If you were good, you were good. If you put out good content, they would push your content no matter what. So that's what we enjoyed and loved about that app, just the authenticity of it in general. It's more authentic than any other platform. And for that reason, I did, because of course there is talk about the stocks in Meta or whatever. So a lot of the leaders voted to ban the TikTok app, of course, because they have stocks in Meta, and they basically purchased this stock too before the ban, which I think could be something like a conflict of interest. I'm not sure, because I did work for a company that had a lot of stock in, and I know for sure that if we found out behind the scenes that the company stock was going down or crashing or something, and we hurried up and pulled our stock out, that would be considered a violation. So I'm not sure, but sometimes governmental leaders are bigger than the law. Hey, they make the rules and the rules don't even apply to them a lot of the time. So that's the type of world we live in. But what I think right now the message is, and I was going to even put out this message before the ban, I think God wants us to get rid of any idols in our lives. I know everybody is in a frantic right now and like, oh my God, what am I going to do? This, that, and this. But I mean, you got to see the good even in the bad right now. You have to understand that you are powerful. And that's one of the reasons why I took like all of the Meta apps or whatever. I deleted them all off of my phone because I live a real lit life. Like, I'm honestly tired right now. I love my life. I just came from like a birthday party celebration and I was about to go to sleep. So you see my scarf and everything, but I was like, you know what? It's perfect timing to go ahead and just address the issue, the elephant in the room, and make a video. But yeah, I think God wants us to get rid of our idols because this is the season to focus on personal goals and God. So we need to sit back and really evaluate our lives. I want you to ask yourself and answer these questions. Are you truly happy? Do you love yourself and those around you? Do you commit yourself to God wholeheartedly? Do you devote yourself to God? Have you found your purpose? Have you found your why? Are you productive? Do you wake up and do you have a routine? Do what are you doing or what are you starting that you could leave behind when you're no longer here? Because I know I was at church and Bishop Bronner was just basically saying in so many words how life isn't short. We just don't utilize our time, right? And one of my favorite speakers or life coaches back in the day, Zig Ziglar, always say it's not a lack of time, but a lack of direction. So a lot of times we're just basically scrolling on social media, wasting time, wasting hours of our lives that we cannot get back. And there's no productivity in that. And we're all guilty of it. And I feel like anything or anyone we make time for and neglect our responsibilities and or neglect God while doing so is an idol. So that can be social media, that could be a person, that can be a thing. Even before TikTok was getting banned, I literally saw a video on my For You page where a lady was approved for a Hermes bag and she was like fainting and all over the floor and everything. I honestly thought it was a joke. Like, I was like, she's serious, but they say it was serious. And I'm all for people being excited about milestones and everything in their life, but it's like, at what point do we get a grip of real life? And like, am I really worshiping a bag? Because ultimately that's what it is. And I'm not judging the lady or anything at all. No telling where she came from, what she's been through, what she's overcome. But we have to get a grip of reality and really ask ourselves, are we happy? And we have to get away from like comparisons and comparison being the thief of joy, and just basically knowing that God is enough. I always think of the quote, an idle mind is the devil's workshop, when I think of the distractions we have in the world. I think when we're just scrolling and everything and not realizing how much time we're wasting, we're not being productive to ourselves or to the kingdom. And it's ultimately, social media is like the playground for the devil. It's like the devil's workshop. It's just a place to keep our mind off of reality. Even right now, with us being so concerned about, oh my God, are we going to get TikTok back? Are we going to get TikTok back? It's distracting us for what's really before us and what this country is about to have to face for the next few years, just because our leadership is changing. Everything here is changing. And I even question, are we really truly the land of the free? Because something don't even sit right with me with, I know there's laws and regulations and we're supposed to obey the lands of the law, but the fact that somebody has the power to even tell us that we can no longer use an app is just wild, right? Like, it's no freedom in that. That doesn't feel freedom, and it very much seems like a violation, if you ask me. Now, whenever we are bored and we go scrolling on social media, contaminating our spirits, or just looking in places that don't serve us, it takes our mind, body, spirit, and our just the way we view things in life to a bad place. And it's true that we can basically control what we consume online, and we can basically control our algorithm. But sometimes you just need to take a step back. Like they say, go and touch some grass and get in your Bible, and just bond with those who care about you and love you in real life, and just take you a break sometimes and just breathe and get away from those things, and you'll feel so much better. But I challenge you during this time to just take your power back. Stop looking at it as, so many people ran to other social media sites like it's something Red Note and some other things. Like, people were creating accounts within seconds. And like I said, I feel for those people where social media was their main and possibly only source of income. So they felt the need to jump on whatever next is hot so they can try to build an audience and do what they did or build on TikTok. So I definitely can feel for those people. But y'all, sometimes you got to know that your God is in control, and that your God is bigger than any decision that a man on earth can make. And with that being said, I just send y'all so many peace. I send y'all peace, joy, and blessings. And I hope that y'all get through these times and y'all find your joy in real life. That social media, none of it is really real. It is a fun place to be, and it is something where we can get on here and spread God's word and love with each other and with others. But ultimately, stay true to yourself, love your life, and live your life in truth and in love. But y'all know I'll be back because I'll be talking.